These are 5 farms you need to build before going to the Nether. From day 1 farms that will get you XP and loot, to getting you kitted out with the best gear. Starting off with this AFK Fish Farm. This farm will take you less than 2 minutes to build and get you food, XP, and enchantment books, all in less than an hour from loading up your brand new world. The materials needed to build this farm will be on screen now, so pause the video and let's build. Before we get started, make sure you have a 5x5 area, and once you've made sure of that, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor with a block beside the trapdoor to the left. We're then going to place down a redstone dust and then 2 building blocks going upwards. Remove this bottom block right here, and we're going to come over, across, and place down another 2-block tall tower, and remove that bottom block so that our farm looks like this. We're going to come around back now and place down our redstone torch on the back of that block, which is going to open up our iron trapdoor. Go ahead and remove this block now and place down a tripwire hook here and a tripwire hook here with a string in between those tripwire hooks. We're then going to remove these 3 blocks and place down a double chest right here with a hopper running into that chest, and then go ahead and waterlog that trapdoor. And just like that, you have a working AFK Fish Farm, so I'm going to show you how to use it. To use this farm efficiently, you're going to need an auto clicker. I use OP auto clicker, and for the sake of simplicity, I'll leave a download link in the description if you don't have one. However, you can use whatever auto clicker you would like. To use it, it's extremely simple. All we're going to do is set it to 1200 milliseconds, set the mouse button to right click, go ahead and head back into the game. Now this part is optional, but most people would prefer to do this. We're just going to go ahead and fill our inventory, that way we don't pick up any of the fish. However, if you're in a safe spot and you don't think you're going to die, then honestly you could just pick up the first little bits, and then once your inventory fills, the rest of the drops would go into this hopper. But you know, let's just fill our inventory so that way we don't have that happen. You're going to get as close as you can without falling into the hopper, so right about here. And then we're going to look at the hitbox of the string, look just below it right here. Go ahead and remove your hand from the mouse. If your hands are sweaty like mine, make sure you aren't dragging the mouse everywhere when you take your hand off. And we're just going to go ahead and start the auto clicker now. And we're just going to get closer until that bobber is no longer falling. So we can just look down a little bit. And just like that. So this should be about the right place. The bobber is going to bounce on this edge of the water until we catch a fish. And then when it falls, it's going to fall onto the hopper and it's going to be recast. Just like that. It's very important that you make sure that it at least recasts once, because it may look like it works, but then it will end up, just continuously falling. So you need to get it in the right spot to where it will continue to cast like it just did there. And another important note is that ideally you're using an enchanted fishing rod. However, don't waste your early game levels and enchantment books on upgrading a fishing rod. Simply just wait to catch a better fishing rod, and you certainly will just by using this farm. It is extremely efficient. And if you're going to be AFKing for more than an hour, I would highly recommend adding more chests and hoppers along with a ladder so you can get in and collect your drops. And after building your AFK fish farm, the next farm I would build is a super smelter. This is a very simple design which will allow you to smelt twice as fast and dump all of your smeltables in a single chest with a single output. No more waiting around for those 3 raw mutton to be done smelting. The materials needed to build this farm will be on screen now, so pause the video and let's build. Before we get started, make sure you have a 3x2 area to build the farm, and the first thing we're going to do is dig out a 2x2 square, place down a double chest at the front, and then place down 2 hoppers running into the back of that chest. We're then going to place down 2 furnaces on top of those hoppers, come around back now and place down 2 more hoppers. Go ahead and place down our double chest here, and then 2 hoppers on top of those furnaces, and then 2 chests on top of those hoppers, just like this. This is our input, this is our fuel, and this is our output. Super compact and super neat. The only thing left to do is to go ahead and throw levers on both of these furnaces now, so we can stop them to collect the XP inside. Use this farm, make sure that the levers are in the off position like they are now. Go ahead and throw your raw iron or whatever you're smelting into this top chest. We're going to come down and go in between these hoppers to fill it with our fuel, in this case coal. It's immediately going to start smelting, and all of the smeltables are going to come out into this large chest. So let's just wait to see our first iron here in just a second. There we go, we got 2 at a time. If you go inside here now, you'll see that it is filling up with both coal and iron, and it's about ready to smelt something. So if we go ahead and just check this, it's at 4. Let's go ahead and lock these now, and it is going to finish smelting, but instead of dumping the item, it is going to stay put here. Now, unfortunately, the XP glitch where it just keeps building and building, you can infinitely pull it out, is done. However, early game, when you're really struggling for levels, this is a great way to save up XP by collecting all of your smelting from the furnaces. So by doing this, you're collecting the XP. And when you're ready to smelt and not pick it up manually again, all you're going to do is unlock those furnaces. You can go ahead and put whatever you grabbed into this large chest. But this is now a functioning super smelter. You can dump whatever you want in here. You don't have to have it be raw iron. You could throw those 3 raw mutton into this chest and they will cook all the same, so you no longer have to wait around for your furnaces to be empty. Our starter base is looking pretty sweet, but for this next farm, we want to go a little bit farther. Close enough that you're loading it, but far enough away that you won't hear it. This next farm will get you 2 very valuable resources, cooked steak and leather. Materials are on screen, pause, and let's build. The first thing we want to do is have a 5x5 area to build the farm. We're going to come to the bottom left corner, place down 3 blocks, 2 blocks, and then 3 blocks, just like this. Break these 2 blocks right here and place down a double chest. We're then going to place down 2 slabs going above that chest right there. And we're going to replace these 2 blocks with hoppers running into the chest. Now, it's very important that you're shift clicking and the hopper is actually going into the chest and not the ground. Just make sure of that and place down the second hopper. Once you've placed down 2 hoppers, we're going to grab our dispenser, place the dispenser facing in towards the hoppers here, and then place down a sign right here and a sign right here. We're going to grab our blocks again and place down a row of blocks across the back and come across the front just like this, leaving these 2 blocks open for now. We're going to come around back now, place down 2 blocks right here, and in fact, we're going to make this entire wall solid. We're then going to place down 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here. Go ahead and throw down a double chest and then 2 stairs on top. This is a nice little secret stash. You can put all of your extra wheat in. I just like having a chest here. It fits, it looks nice. I recommend putting it here, and that's where I would store all of my wheat. We're going to come around back now and grab our blocks again. Place down a row of blocks going across here, row of blocks going across here, row of blocks here. Place down blocks going across here, and then grab your signs again. Actually, we're not going to place down the signs yet. I got ahead of myself. We're going to place down 2 blocks right here, and then we're going to build an entire layer on this level, just like this. We're then going to drop down here, grab our stairs now, and place down stairs going upwards, just like so, all the way to the top. And then I like to fill in this wall just to make this feel like a nice little solid structure. Like how solid it is because we filled in all those blocks. The next thing you want to do is grab your water bucket, and we're going to place down 2 water buckets at the back here, so that way the water is flowing towards where we place down the hoppers, which is the front of the farm. Once you've made sure of that, you want to lure 2 cows into the area, and I have quite a few cows, so we're going to lead them up here. And you can push all 3 in. In fact, that's probably beneficial. And 2 of them just seem to have walked in on their own, basically. But we're just going to get as many cows as we can in here. Realistically, 2 is all you need. That guy is very annoying. This is easily the worst part about getting cows in this farm. Come on. There we go. We got 2. Honestly, you're too much work. Get out of here. The next thing we're going to do is grab our fence posts, and we're going to place down fence posts above these cows. That way they stop jumping so severely. And we're going to go ahead and breed them up with our wheat. We're going to keep doing this until we have about 50 cows in this upper chamber. The more cows you have, the better. However, keep in mind whatever device you're playing on. You don't want to have so many cows that your game is lagging. And again, I'm sure you realize why we built this so far away from our base. So once you have about 50 cows up here, which this is a decent amount of cows, we're going to come down here and we're going to place down 2 glass blocks right in front of this opening now. And we're going to come up here and we're going to quickly remove, we're going to grab our block to replace it. We are going to then remove these 2 blocks. All of the baby cows are going to fall down. Whoops. Okay, this guy might just get out. Get in there. There we go. Place the block down. And then we can go ahead and grab our signs. Well, one of them got out, but the rest are fine. We're then going to remove this block and place down our sign. Get in there. It honestly doesn't matter if these baby cows get out. The main purpose is that you have a bunch of adults up here. And this is easily the least intuitive part of building the farm. We're then going to place down 2 glass blocks, and now everything is good. You have a few baby cows running around. You could just wait for them to grow up and then, collect them manually. But the last thing we have to do now is place down a button here and fill this with lava. Button and lava. And just like that, we are ready to use the farm. To use the farm, you're going to grab your wheat, you're going to come up here and spam click on all of these cows, and because they're bouncing up and down in the water, they are actually just kind of cycling between all of the ones that you haven't already clicked on, so all of the cows are breedable. All of the baby cows are going to fit through that slot we've just made here, so as you can see, we've got tons of baby cows, and we got all of the XP from breeding. Awesome, we need as much XP as we can get, and if you're in a fortunate situation where you have somehow acquired a fire aspect sword, you could manually kill them with looting 3 and fire aspect, but let's be honest, this is a starter farms video. You probably, this is a weird frame. You probably don't have a fire aspect or looting 3 sword, so for now, you get all of the XP from breeding them. However, the real perk of this farm is once the baby cows grow up into adults down here, it's really simple. You're just going to press the button, wait for the lava to hit the other side of the farm, go ahead and turn it off. It's going to retract the lava. These guys are going to then burn, and all of the drops are going to end up inside of this hopper here. So as you can see, we've got plenty of leather, plenty of steak, and this thing is really just incredibly easy to use. Just go up and breed the cows every chance you get. You can breed them about every 2 minutes, but as you can see, just by using this amount, we have 17 leather and 38 steak. This thing is crazy, and we can just come back up here and click away, and they are all going to give us the little love hearts, and the cycle continues, rinse and repeat. If you do this for an hour or 2, you are going to have more than enough food for plenty of your playtime, like so much food, and so much leather to make books. Iron. This farm will take you under an hour to build and will generate up to 6 stacks of iron an hour. I've recently learned about ROI, and this ROI is IRON. Wow, I don't even think that was a joke. Materials. Pause. Build. First things first, make sure you're at least 150 blocks away from all other villages. I'm assuming this is your first and only villager structure. If it's not, make sure you're at least 150 blocks away from that as well. And finally, make sure you're at least 50-ish blocks away from your bed or other workstations. That includes barrels. And once you've made sure of all of those conditions, then we're going to build in a 9x10 area with the 10 block length being wherever you want your entrance to be. So this is going to be our entrance. So if you want to have it rotated this way, then make sure that your length is 10 and you get it. And in fact, let's just start off with that. So we're going to mark wherever the entrance of our AFK pit is going to be. So for me, it's going to be here in your little area. Make sure you've got 4 blocks and 4 blocks. If you don't have that yet, that's fine. All we're going to do is place down a strip of 5 blocks of glass, and then we're going to place down 2 leaves on both sides, and then in the center of that glass, that is going to be where your little pit is for where you AFK. From there, we're going to go around and we're going to finish off our 9x9 by placing down all of our leaf blocks just to get an area for where the farm is going to be built. Once you have that laid out, we can go ahead and go into the center of the farm now, just like so. And we're going to clear out a 5x5 space. We're just going to leave that rim of blocks going in between the leaves and this inner rim for now. We're going to come back to it. So we're going to dig down 7 more blocks. Once you're at the bottom of your pit, we're going to grab our beds now, and we're going to place down beds going on both sides of the farm, just like this. We're going to remove this middle strip now and remove the blocks underneath of all of these beds. Then we're going to place down beds underneath of those beds. So let's go off and place down all of our beds now, just like so. And go ahead and fill in this strip with blocks. This is a total of 20 beds. That is important. 20 beds. Once you've made sure of that, we're going to place down our block in the center here, and then blocks in these 4 corners, just like so. Place down a torch in the center here and grab whatever workstation you would like. I'm using fletching tables, but you can literally use whatever you would like. It does not matter. So we're going to place down all of our workstations like so. And the next thing we need to do is get 2 villagers inside of this farm. Thankfully, Mojang has made this process extremely simple. Just go to your nearby village, kidnap 2 villagers, and then go ahead and find a wandering trader, kill the wandering trader, and acquire a lead. Once you have a lead, we're going to put 2 villagers in a boat, go ahead and place the lead on the boat, and we're going to just jump into our pit, and they're going to come flying towards us. We can go ahead and remove the boat now, pick up the lead. They're going to become Fletchers. And this is the very simple but slightly time-consuming part. Just go ahead and make a hole here. We're going to go ahead and give them a couple stacks of carrots, potatoes, beetroot, bread, whatever you'd like. They're going to go ahead and trade. Just go ahead and lock yourself in a hole. Go ahead and check on them every once in a while. Oh, wow, that was actually really well timed. And they're going to go ahead and breed, have a baby, and they're just going to continue on to make 20 villagers. Now, just go ahead and check on it every like 15 to 20 minutes to see if they're up to the cap and to also see if they need more carrots. They shouldn't need more than about 3 stacks, but yeah, we're just gonna wait here and wait until they have 20 villagers. And once everything is done, you should have about 20 villagers now. It looks pretty chaotic. We're gonna place down a block right here, and we're just gonna go ahead and hop up, go ahead and patch in our hole, and then go ahead and fill them in. Now, it's very important that you have absolutely 0 children and 0 nitwits. In this economy, no child labor and no unemployed individuals. Everyone needs a job, and apparently we can't put the kids to work, but, you know, Anyways, we're going to go ahead and fill this in once you have 20 villagers, and then, like I said, we're going to remove this one strip of blocks going around everything, exposing that leaf rim just like so, and finishing this off. And then finally, after removing this, we are going to remove the blocks in the wall here and replace them with leaves or glass. And after replacing the walls with leaves and glass and expanding it out, this is what it should look like. It's very important that you do place down leaves here. That is dramatically going to increase the rates of this farm, like incredible, like it's so worth it. So make sure that you do replace the walls with leaves. As you can see, we already have an iron golem in here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to push this guy out of the way. Go to the center of your glass here, and we're going to remove these 4 blocks like so, along with this block, kind of creating a star shape. Place down a chest on its side so it opens sideways, and we're going to run a hopper into that chest, and then run 3 hoppers into that hopper, just like so. We're then going to come into each of these corners and just grab our building block, place down building blocks in each of the corners, and we're going to place down our water buckets now on both of these blocks. Go ahead and remove these building blocks now, so everything should be flowing over to this single hopper. And the last thing we're going to do is place down our campfire right there, which is going to kill all of the cats. And then once this iron golem dies, I mean, I guess he doesn't really have to die, but we need to place down our lava so that way the iron golems die. So this might be a lengthy process. All right, we are struggling with success here. We've got 2 iron golems, so I'm just going to show you how to do it without killing them. All you're going to do is place down a sign right here, a sign right here, and a sign on this block. So let's get him over there. Place down a sign right here, and then we just need to place one more sign right in front of this sign, and then finally one more sign on top of that sign. And there we go. We've got all of our signs in place, and the last thing to do is place in our lava bucket right here and dig our little AFK hole. Place down that extra chest so we have a nice double chest now. Place down your ladders and place down your trapdoor. And now we have a fully functioning iron farm. How cool is that? And lastly, sugarcane. For those of you following along at home, this is the final farm that will allow you to get kitted out with fully enchanted iron or diamond gear. Materials are on screen. Let's build. First off, we need a 4x3 block area to build the farm in, and we're going to dig out a 3x3 hole just like so. Place down a block in the left side on the middle, and then we're going to place down a redstone torch and a redstone dust. Grab a redstone repeater now and face it in the direction of the redstone dust and set it to 3 ticks, which is clicking it twice. We're going to place down a block on top of the redstone dust and a block on top of the redstone torch to create a redstone clock like you see here. We're going to place down a lever on the front, which is our on-off switch. Go ahead and just turn it on, which is off, which is a little confusing, but the clock should stop when you click the lever and turn back on when you click the lever again. So just leave it so that the clock isn't running. We're going to place down a stair facing away from the redstone. That's incredibly important. Make sure that the stair is not pointing towards the redstone. We're going to break this block and place down a hopper running into this block right here with a chest. and then we're going to place down a mud block on top of that hopper. And in fact, let's just go ahead and clear this area out and place down a double chest, so that way we have even more storage. Next, we're going to jump up here and place down our stair, which is upside down. And then we're going to place down 3 building blocks just going across here, so that way it looks nice and clean. And again, you can still open your chest. Next, we want to waterlog this stair here so we can place down our sugarcane. So go ahead and waterlog the stair. Place down a dispenser above the stair facing towards the mud block. Grab your hopper, run the hopper into that dispenser, make sure it's pointing inwards, and place down a chest right on top of that hopper. We're going to grab our piston now and place down the piston above the dispenser. Place down a redstone torch on that block right there, which should be off when the clock is off. And then we're going to grab our building blocks, place down a building block here, as well as above the piston, and a stair above the chest. That way you can still open it. We're then going to grab our glass now and place down glass blocks going across here, 3 blocks tall in line with this stair. And then we're going to grab our building blocks now and place down building blocks to fill in this wall. You should still be able to see the mud through the hole where the repeater is. And from this side, this is what the farm will look like. Next, we're going to grab our slabs now along with our sugarcane, and we are going to place down slabs on the entire ceiling of the farm. And then we're going to come down here and finally place down our sugarcane on the mud block. The last thing we need to do is fill this chest with bone meal. And by the time you're ready to build this farm, you should have at least half a stack of bones lying around, which you can convert into 1.5 stacks of bone meal, or even better, if you have 1 stack of bones, you could convert that into 3 stacks of bone meal. But truthfully, you do only need half a stack of bones because each one of these bone meal is going to get converted into 2 sugarcane, and you only need 135 paper to make a full enchantment table. So having half a stack of bones will be plenty to make a full enchantment table, but again, if you have more, you might as well just turn it into paper. So once you've loaded that thing up, all you have to do is turn on the farm and it's going to immediately start shooting out sugarcane. All of the sugarcane is going to end up inside of this chest, and all we have to do now is wait, have paper, and then make an enchantment table. With the farms behind me, not only will you have plenty of food, plenty of XP, a full enchantment table, and more iron than you could ever dream of, this is the full suite of farms that you should build at the beginning of your game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, then be sure to subscribe and leave a like. My name is OneUpMC, and I will catch you in the next one.